Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Brew Crafters, the board game, is one of my top 10, 15 favorite board games of all time. And I've had this Brew Crafters travel card game on my shelf for years and never played it, probably because I'm leery of any time there's a card game version or dice game version of a game that I love. And I really do love Brew Crafters. But we were going on a Dice Tower cruise. I decided to throw it in the bag and take it with us, and we played it. And you get a fine little card game. So they're trying to take the big Euro game and condense it down into a card game, and I think they do a fairly good job of it. The game is easy to teach. It's play a card, draw a card. Very simple. You can play cards down for their power, and once they're played for their power, they're always down for the power. Or you can brew the beer, and you need to play cards from your hand. And these cards from your hand are going to be played in certain combinations in order to brew beer to score victory points. But the cards that you played before will give you bonuses, either free resources or extra points when you build. And it's like a little bit of an engine that you're building. So there's a little bit of an engine building that's going on, and you're playing these cards down, and you're having an aspect of it that you kind of want to build this up. But when do you turn from building the engine until you want to turn it into points? And that's going to be the key to the game, because if you try to brew too early, you're going to have a stopping point where I'm not chucking along. But if you do too long engine building, somebody's going to beat you to the end. And that's going to be the big rub of the game. You're going to see all the cards pretty soon. You're going to see all the cards pretty quickly. So the replayability is going to be in spacing out your plays and not trying to play all back to back to back to back. You're going to want to kind of spread that out, because I think after a few plays, you're going to notice the same cards are coming out. And there's only a few strategies in the game. That's just the nature of a card game like this, right? So if you're looking for a light filler card game that has a little bit of engine building in it, I think this is going to be fine. Probably not going to blow you away. If you're looking to be blown away, play Brew Crafters, the board game. That's the better version, but this is fine for a light filler or a way to play this before you go into the big game. Use all the same icons. The artwork is a little cruddy in this one, not really crazy about it, but for my taste, it's fine for a filler. It's one of my go-to fillers now, and I'll be keeping this one. Is Brew Crafters, the travel card game. It's a very small, very portable version of the Big Brother. You're going to open it up. We'll take a look at the rules in a few minutes. And you're going to find just a deck of cards and some cheap plastic tokens used for scoring. Now, the tokens aren't very good because they're supposed to keep track of your reputation. But as you can tell, they don't really fit on here all that well. I mean, I guess you know that's 10, but yeah, not that great. The rest of the cards are going to look just like the artwork from the original game. It's like people's faces, but it just doesn't look right. There's something off about this and the look of this game. But the cards are fairly easy to use. You're going to have an icon up here that tells you if it's a worker or not. Pretty simple to use. You're going to have a couple of cards back here that will be your player aids, if you will, etc. It tells you how to do something. And you have one for star player. Fairly good component-wise, I suppose. Not crazy about the artwork, and it repeats a lot, but it's fine for what it is. Here are the rules. This is one of those that you're going to take as a piece of paper, and it's a small box, so it's all kind of crumpled up. What you're going to have here is the object of the game set up. This is one little picture where it kind of tells you the breakup of the card, and then an overview of the gameplay. This is everything you need to play the game. And then they're going to show you how the game ends. Some of the effects will be listed here. Strategy advice and stuff, and 4-player rules. It should be noted that the 4-player rule game is not the actual game, so 2 or 3 players will play a lot better. The 4-player edition is down here at the bottom. Start the game, everybody's going to get a set of scoring and how to pay off. You'll grab 4 cards from the deck to be your starting hand, and then you'll take 5 cards and you'll put them up here in the middle of all players, so everybody will have a tableau of cards to choose from. So on your turn, you can choose it, draw 2 cards. You can draw one from here, you can take another one from here, or you can take one from the top of the deck, etc. And then you're going to replenish the row. So the first thing you do is take 2 cards, either from the tableau or the deck, any combination thereof. So you can do one of 3 things on your turn. You can play a card. Let's say I'm going to play this Hop Infuser. I just place it down in front of me. You can never have the same card twice. Gives me +1 point for each of these that I build on my turn. Or instead of doing that, you can play in order to build one of these beers that are listed. So I need 1 wheat, 2 hops, whatever. So say if I wanted to do the porter, I get 2 of these. got this, and this is enough to play a porter. So instead of playing a card down, I could discard these cards, and I would gain 3 victory points right here. That's all you can do, or you can pass on a turn, and these will give you bonuses. So I didn't get a bonus for that, but I could have. Now the cards also in the deck will do things like +1 for these type, +1 a game in for each worker you're hired. You'll see some of these will be worker, some will be equipment. It's only 2 types. Use +1 for each of those types. After brewing, you may take a card with that symbol from the face of the draw pile. There's a whole bunch of things that you can do. But on your turn, all you have to do is either play one of them down, it'll be in effect for the rest of the game, or you can discard cards from your hand that equal one of these and then score the amount of points. After 21, the game ends. Whoever has the most points at the end of the round is the winner of the game. Who should buy this game? Anybody looking for a little bit of an engine builder, card filler type game. This is going to be pretty much for adults, but it plays best with 2. It can play with 3. Stay away from 4. It's a team player game. It's not a version that I would go for whatsoever. It's a fun little filler game. Don't expect a big brother. Don't expect too much. And I think that you'll enjoy this one. It's a keeper from me.